we grow. Using procurement, program and control. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur. Oh yeah, I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is a Business Zone with
Crystal
and Coach Gilbert Buchanan, your small business paramedic. And folks, happy Black History season.
True that. Yeah. We are in the last we're in the last week. Yeah, last week of Black History Month. There's activities going on. Well, every single day. Everybody, some people got started late, but they are in full Black History Month mode right now.
I like that.
Yeah, so it's been so next week I got an event that I'm speaking let me see, moderating Black History Month event for the Urban League.
Mm-hmm.
Today we did the Black History Month for Recycling Black Dollars, the BBA, and GLAC, and Crenshaw Chamber. So it was our chambers uniting. So now we came together today. It was great. So that was
So just like Bob Marley did the One Love concert.
One Love, man. One Love.
You did the One United.
Right. I wish I had thought about that because it was a One Love kind of thing, and it was well received. It's like people. I told Angela Gibson from GLAC, I said, and who knew? All we had to do was send out an invite.
That's all it took.
That's all it took. But Greg Doolin's soul food restaurant is beautiful. They did a fantastic job to accommodate us. He said he built it so that the community can come in and do meetings and so forth. The restaurant can be used as well as the outdoor space, which is where we were.
Yeah.
And it was nice. We had a really, really good time.
Good. I like that, man. I like it when, the different groups get together. And we've been saying this forever on this program. We don't want to operate like a silo or in silo. We want to operate unitedly like a community. So, I guess it took the superwoman, Crystal Mitchell, my co-host, to do that. So I'm loving that. I am loving that.
Yeah, me and it takes a village, as they say. It takes a village to create a home for you and your family, and so much stuff is going on in our community today. It really, really requires us all being able to work together, close our silos, know who's doing what, be introduced to these people. And there was a couple of those things took place today. I was speaking to somebody and they were like, hey, I need an intro to so-and-so and so. I was like, okay, just email me. I'll make the introduction.
I like that.
And Jay-Z, or I guess is coming in. We'll see you in a moment, Solomon. Jay-Z he was introducing me to someone that he worked with when, J.C. Lacey actually was with Metro. He was the liaison for Metro.
I need to do some work, man. Is he working on his own now or
what? So you can reach out to him. Want me to make an introduction?
Oh, well, he already knows me. Okay. I just don't have his number. So.
Okay, I can send you over that number.
For the number so I can reach out to him, man, because that's what we need to do, man. We need to work together, man, to bring about this change, because the Olympics are coming up and everything is scattered. Nobody knows what's going on, who's getting what, how the process is going to work.
Right.
So we need to, get on one page with that. And Robin was talking about that too. when she was
Mm-hmm.
on here, you know.
And it's Kareem Webb, who's from Buffalo Wild Wings. He indicated that it's going to be almost eight set asides,
Yeah,
$8 billion worth of opportunities coming in for that Olympics, and we need to be ready.
yeah,
We need to be able to put together our team of people
yeah,
so everybody has a role, and so it's going to be huge. And this is a once in a lifetime thing because they're going to come back.
yeah.
It's going to be a number of years for where was it? When was the last time the Olympics were in Los Angeles in 1960? I
In
think.
in the '60s, I thought it was like the '80s or '90s.
Was it the eight? No, it
'60s.
wasn't the 90s. 'Cause I want to remember that. I was not in Los Angeles when the Olympics came here.
I
So
think they had it at USC, right? Didn't they have it at
they
USC?
were. It was all over, right? But yeah, no, I was not. I was not in Los Angeles. I didn't come to LA until 75, 74, 75. So wouldn't have been in that time frame.
Yeah, I guess I came here at a good time because I came right after that earthquake, the Northridge earthquake. That
Wow.
was, I think that was 94 or 97, somewhere around there, man. That was
Yeah, I
atrocious.
wasn't. I wasn't here for that earthquake,
Wasn't
but
there
I
for
was
that?
here for the Northridge earthquake. But here's the thing with me and earthquakes in Los Angeles, right? Um, Somehow or another it knows to make sure I'm not in the same place where there's a big earthquake.
Yeah.
I wasn't here in the 80s or whenever that one was. The Northridge earthquake, I actually was living in the valley, and I lived around the
Really?
corner from where the main fault was.
They call that the gosh, I can't remember what they call it.
Yeah, it's like the fault. So
Yeah.
I was in Tahoe skiing.
Mm-mm-mm.
And it was Martin Luther King's weekend. So we
Ooh.
were in Tahoe. I woke up because I was taking kids up to the mountains because we had a race that morning.
Yeah.
I woke up and we turned on the television and I went, well, that building looks familiar. And I was like, what? And I'm half asleep. Let me wash my face and go
Let
see
me
what the heck
find out what they're talking about.
what they
over
talking
there.
about. Turned the TV up loud and I went, oh my God, that building's around the corner from my house.
Wow.
I
Isn't that
called my
amazing that you could be watching TV in some faraway place and you see a building that's really similar to yours in some kind of catastrophe? You go, wait a second, is that my building?
right, exactly. I had to call my roommate. Hey, roomie, because he was in town. We were all skiing. He's like, I know. I just called home. My sister, she didn't left. She
Oh man, that is
so we
crazy.
had to fly in that night. It was like a deserted city, but I missed that. I was in Tahoe, so I really have not. That was when the overpass on La Cienega fell. I was not
Yeah.
here. I've only felt some little ones.
You know, even though that was a horrible time, I guess some good things came out of that because then it forced the city of Los Angeles to force a seismic requirement for builders when they're building, from that point to make sure that whatever building they're building is going to be earthquake compliant.
Yeah.
So that was really a good thing. And, like, me with my new word, I like to say earthquake aggressive.
Well, yeah, that was so. I've only felt a few tremors here and there, and sometimes I don't even know there is one. But yeah, so the Olympics I do know have not been here prior. I believe it was around it might have been the 60s, early late 60s when the last Olympics. I'll have to do some research on that, but
Mm-mm-mm.
that was the last Olympics. So this is a one time around the world,
Yeah.
guys. So we have to be ready.
Yeah.
One for now we might get the soccer again.
Yeah, the FIFA World Cup, we'll get that for sure.
Yeah, so
And then the
come
the
again in another.
Olympics. Yeah,
Yeah,
the Olympics
Olympics.
in 2028, man. Guys, got to be ready for that. Got to be ready. I was watching YouTube a couple days ago, Crystal,
Mm-hmm.
and I saw them talking about the Las Vegas Stadium, the Allegiant Stadium.
Oh, the one that you had something to do
Yeah,
with.
and they're showing the history and how it got built and all the contractors on it. That made me feel so proud, man. I was trying to see if I see any of my subcontractors on there because I helped to prepare some of those guys for that project, And man, it's amazing the way they built that with efficiency and quality. And man, it was just amazing the way they built that stadium, man. It's a different kind of stadium, the way they built it. And
And
I felt so amazing about it. And they had women on the project. Women.
oh, and that's the thing when you've been part of a project like that, right?
Yeah.
You can sit back and go, I had my hand in that. That I think is
Yes.
what's the most incredible thing about someone that does construction or
Yeah.
architect.
Yeah.
You have actually made your mark,
Yeah.
and there is a standing building that
Yes.
says you made your mark. Now,
It shows your print, your fingerprint.
right, exactly. So as business coaches, man, that's why I work with children, because if one of my kids hit it big, I'm taking credit.
Yeah,
But
for
it's
sure.
kind of hard with my adults. I cannot take credit with my adults because I wasn't there from the ground. But I can take credit for my children. But that's what I kind of admire that about an architect or a contractor, because they are establishing something with their input and their pressure with that makes a big difference. So
they have a certain part of that structure of the stadium where all of the contractors sign it. They had their signature on it.
Okay.
On the steel that was there. I'm going, oh man, I should have been there on that day so I can put my signature on that too. Yes, I'm part of this thing. Well, yeah, man, it's amazing. An amazing stadium. The way they did it. So yeah. So, and those of you who are just tuning in, you might be listening to our conversation and go, what the heck are they talking about? My co-host and I, we're talking about how folks need to be prepared for this upcoming FIFA World Cup and the Olympics 2026 and 2028 consecutively, guys. You got to be ready. We don't want to hear you complaining about not getting any opportunities. They're skipping over you and going to the usual suspects. We want to hear that you've prepared yourself and you guys are ready. So this is the Business Zone with Crystal and Gilbert. We're on every Friday from 3 to 4:30. We bring on a weekly guest or maybe two, and we talk to them about their business, their profession, their occupation, how they're changing the industry, how they're helping to solve some of the pain in the marketplace. And you too can be one of those guests, folks. So we're on live on YouTube. We're also on live on Facebook and LinkedIn. And my co-host will talk to you guys a little bit about how you can go about subscribing to our platform and how you can also participate in our program. So go ahead, Cole.
All righty. So our guest is here, so I'm excited to meet him. And we'll be with you in a momentarily, Simon. We're going to do a little clip, and I'm going to do a little Black History moment, and then we're going to have you in, and you're going to talk to us about the type of entrepreneur you are, and also lead generation. I've had several phone calls today on, okay, how do I tune in? Because I need to know how to bring in more customers and make more money. I said, so this is the guy. So before that, though, guys, you can tune in to the Business Zone at our YouTube channel. Hit that subscribe button. We are growing our subscribers. And if you like the programs, we have been on air for 7 years. We'd love for you to go through our archives. We have some amazing shows. Gilbert and I are both business coaches, so we have done some fantastic free shows, free coaching. So that's how you get the free coaching from us, is to tune in to our YouTube channel and check us out, because we both been in business respectively 30 years plus between the two, each of us, and we have over 30 years of experience for helping small businesses acquire the tools and resources they need in order to be successful. So please go over to our YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button to become a subscriber and get notification every Friday afternoon at 3 o'clock. And as well as you find some the podcasts over there that you like, hit that like button and let us know. Send us a message. We'll respond back to you. So with
Hey,
that,
Maria R. What about me? I pour into you and other women too, and help you guys with your business. Not only my co-hosts help you guys. What's going on, Maria?
Maria, give him his love
Because I'm a
too.
brother, you don't want to give me my props. You don't want to give me my flowers.
Thank you, Maria. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate that. So before we bring in, let me see. I want to
Our
go back up here.
honorary guest.
Our guest today, I do want to give us a little quick Black History moment because this is Black History Month, guys. And we only have, although I will tell you that Black history is every day in America, 365 days. But during the month of February, we highlight us and all the brilliance. So today we're going to highlight and the reason I'm doing this is because there is a documentary that is now airing on Amazon Prime. It's about the Black Barbie. So the Black Barbie's creator was a trailblazer by the name of Kitty Black Perkins. Perkins designed Mattel's first Black Barbie, which debuted in 1980 after demand from collectors. Everything was Barbie. I wanted Black Barbie to be the opposite. So Perkins, she's got numerous of patents for her Black Barbie. She debuted, yes, she did, and she actually was on the community briefing last year.
Man, we got to bring her on this show.
Okay, we can do that. So, so there is now a movie about her. So in the early 60s and 70s, there were only there were not any diverse Barbie dolls or dolls for black girls to play with. So she was actually a fashion designer before she did that, and so she was creating the clothes for the Barbie line, period. And then there was a demand for a Black Barbie, so that kids that were African American and Black, they actually could have a doll that looked like them. And then she continued on to create the clothes for Barbie. So you guys want to know more about her? Her name is Kitty Black Perkins. You can find her on the internet, but you can go check out her documentary called the Black Barbie documentary. So that is our Black history.
Respect to Kitty, and thank you for being innovative and thinking about something different, because that's what we need to do. As you know, creators, inventors, entrepreneurs are born from having to fix a problem in the marketplace that no one wants to fix. So you've done your contribution has been wonderful. A lot of little Black girls, white girls, and Latina girls, they're very happy that you have done your creation. So much respect for you.
And I believe now there is actually some Latina Barbies out there, so everyone can be represented. I mean, young kids are very impressionable, and so for them to understand beauty, it comes in all shapes and sizes and colors. That is an awesome experience for them, because it helps build their confidence and that they don't feel that they are lesser than. So nobody is lesser than. We all are blessed with our own greatness and our own talents, and we don't have to be envious.
We don't have to adopt. We don't have to adopt a policy or principle that belong to someone else. We can have our own. So that's
exactly.
Beautiful. Maria R., thank you for recognizing me. I appreciate it, Maria. Maria said, "Thank you, Gilbert. That's so true. You also pour into us." Yes, yes, I do, Maria. I give you guys little nuggets that will help you to grow your business. So thank you for giving me my flowers.
Okay, there you go. So now we're going to give our guest his flowers today, and we're going to bring him on. Excited. I believe he was a referral from Mark Newsom, who was on our show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay. So that's how we and he raved about him when he told me about him. So I'm excited to meet him. I hope you are as well, Gilbert. So with that, I'm gonna bring Solomon.
Well, Thimothy. he's got the right name, Solomon. Solomon was one of the kings in the Bible who, he was one of the wisest men, and of course, I don't want to say the other part about Solomon. So. Solomon knows the story. He knows the story. They consider him one of the wisest men. So we'll
Thank
leave it
you.
at that.
Thank you, Crystal and Gilbert. Super honored to be here. I'm going to try to live up to my name.
Yes, please do. That's pretty tough right here. Opening up with the fact that you got to live up to to the Bible, huh?
The wisest man, right?
That's right.
Welcome to the business zone, Mr. Solomon.
Thank you for having me. Super excited to be here.
We're excited. Let me tell you guys a little bit. I want you to meet Solomon. He's a marketing obsessed entrepreneur. Now that's a unique title for an entrepreneur. Usually they're not marketing obsessed. With a proven track record of building successful organizations, he's dedicated to helping small business owners scale and achieve growth. And he asks you, are you tired of feeling stagnant in your business growth? So in his 15 years of experience in growth marketing, can help you overcome the pain and not seeing those results. So we get that all the time in our coaching. You know, most of our businesses, marketing is like a foreign animal to them. They have the product, they have the service, but they don't. That's it. When you ask them how do you market, they go social media. Okay, but what does that mean? So, can you help us out a little bit, Solomon?
100%. Absolutely. So I guess my number one question is, are the listeners more business to business, business to consumer? Because, there's different strategies, Crystal and Gilbert, that we can go into and help everybody out.
I would say,
I think some of them are business to consumer and some are business to business. Many of our small businesses are 50-50, right, Crystal? About 50-50 on that.
Yeah, one of our focus is to help them become contract ready, so that they can do business to business, which is obviously a larger
government.
With the government agencies, because that's a larger, a better way to increase your revenue goals. But a lot of them still do business to consumer.
Absolutely. So typically, when we're talking to a small business, and by the way, we get this every single day too. So I'm super excited to be here and share all the wisdom with all of you all. The biggest challenge, and I think this is super easy. The biggest challenge that people have is understanding growth. All right, and I'll make it really simple, because there's more to just saying I want more business. Because I'll ask this question, Crystal. So if you're in Netflix, you have 1 million subscribers you onboarded on January. If all of those million people leave in February, did you really grow?
No.
Right. You see the difference? Everybody's, Gilbert, do you agree? Like everybody's like, let's get more customers. But then if it doesn't stick, right? Do you agree? It doesn't work.
Yeah.
So I'm going to simplify that for everyone, Gilbert and Crystal. They'll never have any questions about growth. So we built something that's called the growth formula. All right. And they just need to apply this formula in all of what they do, and everything will be successful, says Solomon, right? Says Solomon.
Okay.
So now we didn't, just randomly wake up one day and like Moses, I didn't get that kind of a vision for this. This is learned. Moses, the tablet. Yeah, it didn't happen. It was literally painful failures after failures of trying to market a business that didn't work. And then you do it again with another kind of campaign, and you do it again. And obviously, like I said, we have an amazing team. We did all the data-driven things that you can do to come to this kind of a growth formula. And it's literally just 2 letters, all right? This is going to be easy because, as business people, we don't like complicated things. We like simplicity. Would you agree, Gilbert?
That's
we
right,
don't like complication.
That's right. Simple.
Right.
Simple. Make your life easier. That's what we do.
Right. Trying to get the government contracts, very complicated. Got to get on the schedule and all this other work. We want it simple. So if you're a B2B company, if you're a B2C company, all you have to remember is 2 letters. Everybody could do this. The first letter is A for acquisition. The The second letter is R for retention. All right. I even brought a little graph for you all. So it's right here. So for those of you that are watching live, A is the first letter. You see that acquisition right there? That's the acquisition letter. The second one is retention. When you acquire customer and then you retain those customers, and this could be anything. This could be a grocery store. This could be a salon, right? This could be someone that's doing hair cutting for all I care. You got to get that one customer and have Crystal keep coming back, or else you lose money. Would you agree? Because it costs a lot of money to get Crystal the first time, but if you keep Crystal, you'll make $1 million.
You know what I like about your formula there, Solomon? When you say AR, acquisition retention, it's also equal to AR, accounts receivable. That's money coming into your
Amen.
I love
Finally, you were the missing piece, right? Like,
yes,
if you want more receivables, follow the formula, right?
that's right,
So
man.
we wanted to use something simple because, like I said, small business owners can attach themselves to something simple.
Yeah.
They can look at a marketing campaign and say, is this trying to acquire customers? Is it trying to retain customers? What are we trying to do with this thing? If you're going to pay for a 5K run or something like that, and there's a small community event, why are we doing that? Is this for acquisition? Is it for retention? You know what really is bad is when you don't know what it's for. Maybe that's an area that we don't invest in. How's that?
So you're saying don't just throw information out there in the dark. Make sure that it's going to help you acquire those customers, and then that those are the customers that are going to stay with you.
Yeah, to retain.
That's absolutely right. Because every single day when we come into our office, we're meeting with new customers or existing customers. They're unloading more and more information about what they're doing. And oftentimes you see their marketing is really complex. They're doing local events, they're doing networking, they're doing Google ads, they're doing Facebook. And you said social media, right? There's a whole bunch of time and money invested into that. And then we look back and say, well, how many leads did you get from this thing? 0. How many leads did you get from this thing? They don't know. They think it's great. How many leads did you get from this? And then there's probably 20% of the channels that they're working in that is working. About 80%, and you'll appreciate this. Why? Because you guys are coaching businesses every single day, right? 80% of the money that is being invested, I don't want to call it waste. They're investing into areas that are not converting into warm leads that they can actually have a sales meeting with. And we show that in numbers, and obviously we love numbers as business people. Like, oh, wow, okay, got it. So we created what's called a 10X framework. And the reason we call that 10X is because everybody come to us for growth, right? We give them the formula. And the next thing that we want them to go through is get rid of all of these channels that are not working, that are not working because the numbers are saying that it's not working.
See, that's the thing, Solomon.
Oh,
a lot of small businesses hold on to all those other channels, not knowing what's working or not knowing what's not working. They don't hold on to it because they probably purchased it before, or someone probably recommended it to them. So they go, oh, we're going to hold on to this because this is probably what I need to grow. So it's great that you're coming in and saying, hey guys, take an inventory here. You know, you may not need some of this old stuff that you had. Like it. Thank you.
That is absolutely right. And if they don't have a dashboard or something where they can actually measure, which by the way, a lot of business owners are runners. We just run. We're operators. We're really good at doing the job. But if you say, like you said, the AR, well, that's in QuickBooks. AP, well, that's in QuickBooks. That's, you know, I don't know. Mary knows. And they sort of like, they don't, it's like, imagine you and I are flying a plane. We're not looking anywhere. We're just going to fly this sucker. Like, that's what it's like. Do you agree?
Yes. Yeah.
That's right.
Most of the time, that is exactly what they do. They just, right. And they hear, you know, I tell my clients, okay, just because you happen to be in that millennial or in your place, your go-to social media is Instagram, but you're selling something that is more geared for someone 50 plus, you can't do that in or 50 or 60 plus, you can't do that in Instagram because they're not over there.
Right.
Not in the numbers you need.
Yeah.
You need to understand where their eyeballs are, right?
100%. So going back to just the acquisition, because they believe it's the biggest pain point is I don't have enough customers. So what we try to do is break it down to just 2 areas that they can focus on. All right, 2 areas. That's it. The first area is what we call capturing the demand, and the second area is creating the demand.
Mm.
All right. Now, probably Gilbert probably knows this because you deal with business owners every day. What do you think most marketing people, if you hire a college intern, you hire your nephew, niece, whoever, which one do you think they right out of the gate go and try to do? Do you think they're trying to create demand or just capture the demand that's already there?
I think they try to create the demand.
Capture.
Correct. Exactly.
They don't really focus on the
problem.
capturing.
Yeah, they're going for the capture.
Yes, then you go sponsor the 5K and the lunch and learn and the networking events, and as if there's nobody on the planet that needs your products or services.
Yeah.
Right. That you have no competition.
You started it because you saw how much money so and so is making. This industry is blowing up.
Yeah.
There's so much happening, right? You see, like, hey, I want to be this business, I want to be that business. Some I love entrepreneurs. We go into 2, 3 businesses because you're like, oh, I can't have one because we're going to go 3, 4, 5 now, 7 LLCs deep.
Yeah.
The magic number, 7 businesses will get me all the people that I need.
And then you try marketing 7 businesses with $1,000 a month or $7,000 a month.
Yeah.
Neither works, right? Like it does not work. So I want to teach the basics of the basics, which, by the way, we don't want to ignore it as basics. These are the principles we use every single day. So when you say, hey, Solomon, I got a great idea, we say, hey, wait, are we trying to acquire? Okay, great. Sounds good. Is it capturing? Are we creating? Now, if I'm a wise guy, even remotely 0.0001% of Solomon, let me just ask you both the question. What's going to get me to where I'm trying to go? Capturing or creating?
Capturing the demand.
Yes,
right?
Exactly. Right. My number one job needs to be, how do I get in front of those people that are right now on Google searching for XYZ?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Like a million searches later, do I pop up? If the answer is no, stop funding, the park district event and the run and the this and the that. Hire a person to do it for you in your office. Gilbert and Crystal knows probably amazing people that could help you. Get those people to help you rank organically, which is just free traffic, or start spending money on Google Ads. I know it sounds 101, yet so many business owners aren't doing it because they forget the basics of acquiring customers.
Yeah.
And I'm not mad at them, right? Like, we love them, which is why we're doing the live every Friday at 3 o'clock.
That's right.
Time. We love you all. Yet, I think there's a lot of folks that are confused about, like you said, lead generation. Give me some of those leads, baby. I'm ready.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so with this particular formula, does this work in every market landscape? Like, we just came out of, a pandemic, which I thought was an amazing marketing opportunity because you had everyone captured, everyone sitting on their computer all day long because they couldn't leave the house. But then they were using the same methodology when everybody started coming back. So don't they have to have different methods for different landscapes, or do you need different methods for different landscapes?
Right. So once we identify these pieces, then like you said, what they do would be different for each business. Some of them might be using Google Ads. Some of them might be using Facebook ads. Some of them might be using something else. At the end of the day, our job is to really make sure that the fundamentals are there. How many customers are we looking to acquire, and how are we going to do that, right? Is this campaign going to help us acquire 5 new customers this month? Then that's the route that we want to take. And I would almost say, without running Google or some sort of a channel that drives these conversions, it would be really, really hard to grow a small business. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
really, really hard. You can only do so much damage with networking. You can only do so much damage with the people that you know. You can only do so much damage with organic social media.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, and it's at the end of the day, how are we going to capture the demand in my area? Even if you only serve 5 zip codes, you got to show up on Google. I
Hmm.
mean, it's like 2024 wisdom. If you're not, fix that before you spend another dime, right? Unless it's like you said, a government contract. There's no point in being on Google.
Mm-hmm.
And it's my audio. Okay. Do you need to make any
No, no,
make any?
it was Gilbert's that was speeding up. You're fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. No worries.
Is it
Absolutely.
still speeding up, Crystal?
No, it's better now.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry,
You guys
Solomon.
are super high tech, by the way, in this live. I go to lives, but man, Crystal, you got some super high tech setup here. Took me a while. Thank you
I'm
for the
sorry.
intro.
We had to step it up a little bit. We've been doing this for a long time. We came
You're
out of
doing it for 7 years, girl. I just started, so
we were in a studio and they had all the high tech, so we had to come up. I had to
Man,
learn the high tech when I got out here when we got out here on our own.
I feel like an amateur in this live, which is someday I
No,
can
you're
live.
doing fine. No, look at this. Look at you can mark on your screen. So, dude, you are already higher tech than we are.
Trying to live up to my name here.
So, Solomon, how did you? So, you said you went through many failures on your
Right.
own to get to this place. What? First of all, let's tell me about your businesses. So, I see ClickX is a business, and then you have another one as well,
I
right?
do, yeah. So going back, high school, I was creative. I was doing Photoshop, Illustrator, those kind of things. When nobody even knew what that was. Self-taught. Graduated college, as you probably know. My parents were like, "Well, you're not going to go into some business without graduating college, kid. Whatever you do, make sure you graduate." So, all right. So I did as an Asian, kid. I was like, I'm not gonna fight my parents on this one because they're definitely gonna win. I'm not gonna win.
They're paying the bills.
I'm not
Not
winning
at
this one.
18.
So, so day after I graduate, boom, I start that company. Right? It's
Okay.
literally my thing. In fact, I'm probably nobody knows it. I didn't even go to my graduation. As long as I got that certificate, I
Yeah.
was good. That's all I needed.
Okay.
That was my
So,
permission. Yes. So
so
yeah,
is
I
it
never went to
ClickX
my
or
undergrad.
Clicks? Is it Clicks or ClickX?
ClickX. It's
Oh,
ClickX.
Okay.
okay.
So I started this agency that was doing basically web design because of my creative background. I just knew how to do it, and I would make
Mm-hmm.
$1,500 on a Saturday at a Panera Bread, which it's pretty luxury living when you're that young.
That
Yeah.
was your
And
office, Panera
I was
Bread.
very happy. I was very happy with the products and services. This is great. And what I realized is that this growth formula was born then, but I didn't know.
Yeah.
Mm.
I started to build those websites, and I would give one to Gilbert. 3 months later, I would call Gilbert and say, "Hey, Gilbert, how's the business? How's the website?" He
Mhm.
says, "What do you mean? I got no new customers with your website. I'm
So,
out $2,500, and I made no money." And I said, "What do you mean? It is the best website on the planet. Nobody even has a website in 2006. You do." Right? And he's like, "It doesn't matter. I'm not making enough money with this thing." So we realized, I came back to the team. I said, "Designers, developers, you guys are all great, but Gilbert is not making any money. So either we're going to be in that business or we're going to be in the business of making Gilbert money, and we'll be okay for the long run. We'll all be
right.
here 10 years from now if we switch what we're doing." So we
Mm.
then had to pivot, which is a very big word for business people. Some
Yeah.
of us are struggling to pivot when you know you need to pivot.
Yeah.
Mm.
Is
Mm-hmm.
that a word for somebody
Mm.
today, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
Some of us need to pivot, but we're like, no, 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 no. We've been around like so long. We're just going to keep doing this. The economy is just going to magically get better. AI is not a real thing. Forget about AI. It's not
If you
going to take
build
your
it, if
job.
you build it, they'll come.
Yep,
It is,
automatically.
I believe it, right? By faith. But I'm saying pivot. Just pivot. So we did. And we realized that we're better off being in that side where I help Gilbert make as much money as humanly possible and hit his goals, we're going to be okay. So we became a lead generation and customer acquisition company. But we didn't have the growth formula, Crystal, until 10 years later, right? Because
Yeah.
yeah, you're just sort of like running Google Ads. And as long as Gilbert's happy, our employees are like, all right, good. Gilbert's check. Next is Crystal. Work on her SEO, check. Would you agree? As long as there's a smile on her face, we're good. it's business as usual. Then we realize that, look, we're so good at this thing, like there's got to be some patterns, because I had built some dashboards and technology, and ClickX was a software company we built out of a service company. And nobody, by the way, becomes a software company from a service company. But I knew that if you want to scale, you got to do something different. You can't do the same thing. Because some of you guys are in service business, you realize the only way to scale is by adding more bodies, right? Right? So,
Yes.
and you're in the HR business, really. That's what you are.
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
And I don't know if that's, I think it's only gotten harder, not easier. Right? HR is a whole nother podcast episode. We're not going there. So we built some software so we can save time of our hardworking employees. And ClickX was one of those tools. We realized like we need some software, we need some tech, we need some optimization into our processes so we can do more with less, if that makes sense. So that allowed us to know that, hey, there are patterns between customer A, customer B, customer C. These are our top successful customers. These are our okay customers. These aren't getting anything, no matter how hard we work. It wasn't about us. It wasn't working. So then we started to look at the 80-20 principle and say, look, what else are they doing? And what are these top players, top performers versus the bottom 20%? We started to see that they weren't spending money on things that didn't work. They were spending money on only the things that worked.
Yeah.
And they were going deep. They were double down. They were like, hey, we got to spend $10,000 on Google Ads. And I would have a heart attack as a 25-year-old kid if you give me $10,000 to run Google Ads. But we were managing $20,000, $30,000 a month on Google Ads for one client. But they're getting great success. Do you see that? And then we realized that there is some sort of secret to this whole thing. We have to look at acquiring customers differently. And we got to look at growing a business differently. That's where I was leading with, hey, if Netflix started off with 1 million and all of them left in the second month, did they grow? And if you answer no, they didn't, then you're absolutely right. And a lot of businesses, they're struggling is because they're asking to fix a problem in their business that's a symptom to a bigger problem, which is this is not set up right. More leads is a symptom. Would you agree, Gilbert?
Oh, yes, definitely.
Yeah, if you can't service, if you can't keep them with that, you bring them in the door, but once they get there, you can't retain them, then you got a problem.
Yeah.
Right. You probably know LTV. Anybody? So that means that we got to increase the lifetime value of our customers.
Lifetime value.
Right, lifetime value of our customers, or we'll be back in this business of getting more customers. Right? I'm glad you all help with the government. That is the biggest customer you could serve. You don't need too many customers at that moment because that's $1 million contract.
Yeah.
Right.
Right? Or more.
You get two or three of those and you're good.
And if you're good, exactly. So if you think about it, what we want to do is help them figure out how do we get them bigger clients, better clients, what's the most profitable service that they have, and then let's double down and market those services. And so they will have money to spend because they're only focused on the 20% that are going to likely take them to the bigger 2x, 3x, 4x realm in their business.
I see. So with that ad though, so you're let's say Google is your space that you're going to do your marketing in, then obviously you have to be looking at the analytics behind that, right? To see what's working. Because I think that's what happens to a lot of our small businesses. They don't know whether it's working or not. They don't, They don't know whether they're getting new customers or not. They may get one or two, but since they're doing the throw everything at the dartboard approach, we don't know really where these people are coming from, right?
100%. Yeah, so that's what I was getting at with like a dashboard, some sort of measurement. You got to
Yeah.
measure, right? And that's the only way we could even tell how many leads we got, how many customers we have. And if you look at the right-hand side, I know it's yellow and you can't really read it. It says manage and nurture.
Yeah.
Manage and nurture.
Mm-hmm.
So if I want to take that lead from Google Ads who didn't buy today, but it doesn't mean they're not going to buy tomorrow.
Right.
Doesn't mean they're not going to buy tomorrow. But what most people do is put their name on a sticky note. They don't, that's not really managing, is it? Sticky note's going to fly off tomorrow.
Right.
And there goes your $27 lead that you just created today.
Yeah.
Right.
So we don't let them do that. They cannot do that. That is not going to work because that's not managing and nurturing. We put them in a system that says so-and-so didn't buy. How do we nurture this person?
Right.
How do we get in front of Crystal? Because she is a high value customer. We know she came for this product and that's our highest money making business. And we do not want our competition taking her from us. We're going to be on her radar. With me on this? We got to stay on her radar. And that's not necessarily the business owner's job. It's a system that we build that is in the shape of an infinity. So it never stops. It just works. While the business owner is working on whatever it is they do. And
you know, Solomon, what you're saying is so right and so on point. I'm going to share a story with you which will resonate with what you're saying.
Let's do it.
There's a company called AmeriQuest. They sell software. I don't know if you ever heard of them, right? They sell software. And I've been trying to connect with them for the longest time. So they weren't responding to me. So I said, okay, you know, I'll buy a software from them. So I bought a software called Bookkeeper from them. It's similar to QuickBooks, you know, but a little different. Right. So I purchased that from them. And then they would send me stuff and I would ignore them. But they never gave up on me. For years, they kept sending me information, sending me materials, sending me new advertisements on new products and all of that. And guess what? Last week, you know, I keep seeing them coming in, and I ignore them. You know the rules of marketing. You'll see something 7 to 10 times before you respond to it, right?
Right.
So they kept sending me these software, and I realized I needed an Adobe software, you know, to do my PDFs. So I kept seeing them sending these PDF software. I say, you know what? Maybe I should try one. And their prices are really good, really reasonable, right? So I went in, tried one of them, and guess what? I'm hooked. So now I'm a customer again.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying? So that's what you're talking about right there, about nurturing these contacts, these leads.
100%. I guess they didn't put your name on a sticky and put it on the wall.
No,
you know,
they didn't.
For Mary to call. And Mary forgot. It's like, who's Gilbert? I don't know. Throw it away.
They put me in their nurturing campaign.
It happens every single day.
Yes, yes.
And the way that I realized a lot of this is because, you know, in Google Ads, you know, you were saying, I don't know if a customer is, you know, we get a customer, we're not getting a customer.
Yeah.
We would run ads, and then I would get the same kind of complaints, we're not getting a customer. So then we go one step deeper. Let's track the phone calls. And then we're like, we made 27 phone calls for you for last week. No, we didn't get any customer. Then we go one step deeper. Again, we have a software. Let's record these phone calls. Yeah, talk about HR. Then we recorded it, and we would play the recording back to the business owner who says, I didn't get any customers, but Mary put them on hold for 5 minutes and they hung up. We never picked up the phone after 5 rings. It went straight to voicemail, and did anybody call back? And then we would say, well, forget about Mary and those problems. Let's do what we can. So we would then send a text message, book a call here, do anything we can, because we know business owners are busy. They're putting out fires. In fact, I got a prop for you. They're right here. Firefighters, right? Would you agree? I got one more prop since Crystal's having fun. This is real. This is real now. They're shh and shh at the same time. Double. And they come home, say, Gilbert, look how hard I worked today. I did so much, honey. You won't believe. I literally rescued my whole entire town. Right?
Mm,
This is the reality. Of course, they didn't pick up the phone because that was a bigger fire, real fire
Yeah.
outside
right.
their office.
Yes.
Of course, we missed a
Yes.
couple of phone calls. Who cares?
Yeah.
But aggregate data will tell us that, hey, there's a bigger problem. So we kept fixing. Why?
Yeah.
Our mission is Gilbert and wanting to make money. How do
Yeah.
we
Hmm.
expand on that?
Yeah.
So we actually do so much of this work that they don't have to do anything.
Hmm.
As much as we'd like, you know what I mean? As much as we can, we do, but we can't pick up the phone or follow
Right.
up or, deliver the food or whatever it is. But we can get to a level where the dashboard is telling them what to do. They have an idea, kind of like you go to Starbucks, drive through, somebody's tracking how many seconds it's been since Gilbert, ordered, and it hasn't, like
Yeah.
or
Hmm.
frantically making your drink because there's a beeping noise that's about to go off.
Yeah.
Are you all with me? Right? This
And
Yeah.
it's
that's
so
the
funny.
reality.
Right, it's the reality, and with small business owners, because they're wearing so many hats, they don't
Right.
have they don't have the person to answer the phone. They do need, and I always tell people, you need tools. You need
Right.
and digital tools are even better than tools that require manual input.
Yeah.
Use a digital tool that can do all your tracking and so forth, and keep you on top of, because you got to be putting out other fires.
Right.
That is absolutely right. And they should, right? My idea is have you guys coach them so they don't have fires in the first place.
Yeah.
Mm,
You see, the reason why they have fire is because they have some lack of SOPs, lack of training, lack of
mm-hmm.
systems that you just mentioned. The
Yeah.
accounting system is on fire. The sales system is on fire. The back office is on fire. Everything's on fire.
Yeah. The back office is usually on fire.
so then it's a lack of discipline, maybe
Yeah.
the lack of
Mm-hmm.
wisdom. Certain parts of their business has been overlooked, and one of them might be marketing because they're so focused on the back office
Hmm.
or delivering the goods and services and taking care of their customers,
Yeah.
right? But we're suggesting is that why not make the friend of the house a system that can run on
Mm.
its own? Are you
I
creating
like.
demand or are you capturing?
Yeah.
Because I don't
Mm,
think one person here should be worried about creating. Our
Right.
GDP is doing just fine. All we need to do is
Exactly.
get more people that literally are searching for you right now.
Yeah.
7 o'clock Eastern, they're searching for you right now.
mm-hmm.
Well, are you anywhere there? And I can tell you the smart entrepreneurs are picking up the phone calls. It didn't matter
Yeah.
at 7 o'clock. They're like, we'll be there in an hour. We'll see you, right?
Mm-hmm.
We just
Mm-hmm.
we just send you an estimate. Can you approve it? We'll get this implemented tomorrow.
And
Those
see,
folks are crushing it.
that's an amazing assessment tool to use there, Solomon, because when you first talk to a client, you ask them that question, are you creating the demand or are you capturing the demand? And they're going to say, well, we're creating. First of all, some of them may not know what they're doing if they're capturing or creating. And then some may say, yeah, well, we're creating demand. How are you creating this demand? And then they're gonna tell you some stuff. Then you use your assessment tool right there, and you click it in. You click that AR formula.
Yes. And there's nothing wrong with creating demand because in
Yeah,
that system we do have that. We don't
yeah,
forget it. But that
yeah,
person that is in dire need of 10xing or $10,000 this weekend or whatever the 100 grand they need
yeah,
to make this month and we have 4 or 5 days left,
yeah.
we do not go start creating demand because that's not coming until end of March.
Exactly. And
Okay.
that's a
Or
process.
Q2, Q3, Q4, because like I said, there's only so many people in the market that is ready to buy today or this week, this month. And
Do
if
Mm-hmm.
you have any
Crystal's ready
case
to go,
studies?
go ahead.
Do you have any case studies, Solomon, that you
Plenty,
you yeah? So
plenty
can you
on
go
top.
over one? Can you go over one of them for us to kind of show us, how you did that case study,
Well,
how
they're
you
on our
approach it?
website, Gilbert. They're literally video testimonials of CEOs and VP of marketing that we work with. And it doesn't
Yeah,
matter if it's a SaaS company, service company.
yeah,
What the challenge is, again, the business owner kind of relying on a website to grow their business. Yes, it is the
Yeah.
best salesperson, in
Yeah.
the world. They're going to work 24 hours a day, but it's not a smart website. What I mean by that is it's not recognizing what to do with the input. Somebody fills out a form, it just sits there.
Yeah. Yeah.
It
Yeah.
doesn't send them an
Yeah.
email. It doesn't nurture them. Don't put them in a list for John to call at 9 o'clock in the morning. It's not sending another email saying, hey, would you book a call for us? It's not automating any of the things that you need. John's got to come. And the way John checks his email, by the way, is the newest is on top, oldest is in the bottom. Well, by the time John gets to his email, he might not even see the lead from Friday.
Yeah.
So do you think there's proper nurturing happening between Friday and
Yeah.
Monday?
Right.
It's these kinds of things that we just have to look at and say, well, that doesn't work. This doesn't work. Do we need to redesign a website? Probably. Do you know what I'm saying? Do we
Yeah.
need to change up the system they're using? Probably. But will it make them more money? 10 times more.
So, do you do development work on websites also? Do you do language development? Like when you develop, do you do programming languages such as Python or Cold Fusion, that type of thing? Do you do any of those?
Well, basically, the only thing we care about is the customer acquisition side, which is their website, and it's very
Okay.
simple.
Right.
WordPress, something similar, to replace their current system. Now, most
Yeah.
business owners are very ambitious. They get that part. They might even have a WordPress website,
Yeah.
but then they moved on. They think that's it. It's over, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So, do you think such a job is ever done? Right? Do you think such a job
No.
is ever done?
So what you're saying? No, you gotta keep communicating. Right?
Yeah.
You just can't.
It's
Soon
that
they come into your website,
infinity,
and that's
man.
there. You gotta keep the nurturing piece, right? In order to
That's
keep
right.
them engaged till they're ready to actually pull the trigger, which means they're ready to buy.
100%, like that story that Gilbert shared. Essentially,
Yes.
you and I should be very confident in our system to
Yeah.
produce results for us, regardless of the economy.
Mm-hmm.
You want me to say that again? Because I can.
Yes.
A lot of
Yes,
people are
sir.
waiting
Yes,
for the
sir.
economy. We should be so confident that this system will make money in a down economy or an up economy.
Beautiful.
And the
I
reason
like
is
that.
you're not relying on the economy, you're relying on the system.
Yes.
If people don't buy anything, then yes, there's nobody to buy. But I don't believe that, because all of us will put it on a credit card if we can't afford it. Somebody's
Mhm.
buying,
Yeah.
right? We'll do whatever it takes to buy it.
That's
So
true.
we are real instant gratification people in this world.
Mhm.
That means that if you're in front of those people in a down economy, you're still making money.
Right. That's good.
Exactly.
That's good.
So I have a story. In addition to this and all this, we one of those that have multiple businesses, but I have a nonprofit. And so today, or a couple weeks ago, a number of our organizations decided to come together and do an event together. Normally, we're doing them separate. We get 5-10 people, and that's pretty much. But we're servicing the same community, right? So we and my utopia is if we become united and share in the marketing of all of our programs and so forth, we'll get more people, not competing with each other, but helping each other. So about 3 weeks ago, we decided to do a united breakfast for Black History. So there's 4 organizations. We had a flyer. It was a good flyer, but it wasn't eye-catching flyer, right? So it went out. Nobody really paid attention to it. So one of the other partners created a flyer. It was eye-popping, eye-catching. It went out, and in 3 days we were sold out.
Wow.
And then people were screaming like, wait, what? And then we came back with another flyer that says, we're sold out. And they're like, but I just got it.
Right.
And so then people were calling everybody. They were calling the restaurant. How can we get a ticket? Because now we've become like, I told them, I said, this is like the inauguration. Everybody wanted to get in. And some people today just showed up. And they're like, okay, y'all going to accept me. However, I'm just going to show up. I know where it is. So basically, we are all together. I mean, as individuals, we all have our awareness. We all have our programs. We all have our organizations, right? But it seems like when we created that buzz, and we all came together nurturing it in our own little special way, then everybody saw it as a valuable asset or an event to be at, and so everybody wanted to show up. So the day I told them, I said, so we're going to do this again in June, and when the first flyer come out, I suggest you click the pay button because we gonna sell out again.
100%.
So creating, exactly, right, creating that awareness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely powerful. I mean, if small business owners did that too, when you have non-competing services, you know, a plumber and an HVAC guy got together, and then they made some marketing together, right? A painter and a flooring guy got together, or whatever it is. You get the idea. It never hurts. A pest control and a landscaping company. There's so much opportunity for collaboration that your $500 will go a long way with someone else. Than you alone. Would you agree? Like,
that's true.
Every time he puts a flyer, you're getting half the space, whatever that is.
And plus, you don't have to take your time away. You know, it's called an opportunity cost. You don't have to give up certain things to do this. You can focus on what you do and have that person who is a specialist in that area focus on that for you.
Absolutely. Or every time they're done with the service, you should reach out to this person. Would you like a free assessment for pest control? Because every time we do, like, you're getting free leads.
Yes.
Just give them 10% or 20%, whatever it takes. But at the end of the day, they're never going to do your business and you're never going to do their business. We know how hard it is to do your own business. So it's free marketing. If more people would think like that, Crystal, it would help everybody out, right? It's a system in itself.
Yes.
Now, right, exactly.
What type of...
Go ahead, Gilbert, I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Gilbert.
What type of clients do you work with? Do you work with startups? Do you work with existing businesses? Or do you work with emerging businesses? Businesses
That's a good way of putting it. Yeah, I mean, my job personally, and I find this, this is why I'm excited. I do 1 or 2 podcasts every single day if I can.
Yeah.
Is to share this knowledge so somebody can implement this in-house using whatever resource they have.
Yeah.
The reason I say that, Gilbert, not everybody's a good fit, right? There's a lot that goes into what we do.
Right.
But it doesn't mean they can't understand this principle and then go implement it however they want with $500, $5,000, $50,000. But typically we work with those businesses that are growing. They want to scale. They want systems. Like you said, they're done with the fires. They're not going to be in the weeds. They're not trying to be all things to all people. They have a niche. They know this is what they want to do. They want to be what I call market dominance. Currently, they're in obscurity.
Yeah.
Some sort of obscurity. And that's every business, by the way. It's not like 6 businesses all of a sudden. But that's that journey this system will allow you to do. It'll help you uncover the issues that you don't even know you have.
Yeah.
Get rid of those blind spots. So in the event John isn't even going to come to work on Monday because his kid is sick, you don't have to worry. You see what I'm saying? Like, wouldn't that make the business owner a little bit more confident? Like, I can handle this.
Yeah.
Right.
They won't be putting out their hair either, stressing out.
Correct.
I like your principle and your philosophy, man. It's a very good one that needs to be adopted by small businesses, because many small businesses, because they don't have financial resources, they think they should do everything by themselves. And I mean, Crystal and I, we know this. We've been in business for, decades. So we know that we can't do everything, and I mean, we're business coaches and we're consultants, and we call ourselves super consultants because we don't just do the basic stuff. We do high level stuff that generates large levels of revenues. But at the same time, we realize when we need to bring some talent and resources in. Like you're talking right now and you're doing your thing. In my mind, I'm thinking, okay, I need to meet with this guy, see if he can handle these parts of my business for me. You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
That's what I'm talking about, man.
And those customers that we work with, they want it all outsourced. They don't want to try to mess with this in-house
Yes.
with a part-time person or a full-time person.
Yeah.
But there is a person in their office that is responsible for certain things that we cannot
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
But we're handling the strategy. What are we doing? How we're doing it? And we're reporting it back just like you would have an outsourced accountant.
Yeah.
They're doing your bookkeeping or your
Yeah.
financial reporting.
Yeah.
All of that thing is actually really powerful. It's really important. The business owner should know. They should have a pretty good idea how their business is doing.
Yeah.
I think this is even more important because it's too hard to fix a business from the balance sheet. It's easy to
Right.
fix it from here.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right. I don't like cutting costs.
Mm-hmm.
I just like making more money, honestly.
Right. I like
Cutting
that.
costs, Crystal
And you
agrees.
know,
We are not taking off our
yeah.
lattes and our frappuccinos and our whatever it is. We're just going to figure out how to make more money.
Yeah. I like
Make
that.
more money. But you know what is so interesting for our client, for our small business, and I do a lot of teaching different organizations for small businesses. They're experts in whatever the service or the product that they have created. Most of them are really bad at marketing, but
Yeah.
they when it comes to a marketing budget and outsourcing that, they're like, no, that is not worth it. Or a certain tool, oh, I can't pay that every month. But
Yeah.
you can't, but you don't like the lead generation. So
Yeah.
if you need the leads in order to make the money,
Yeah.
you can create the product. So I guess what I'm saying is understanding where we do this all the time, your SWOT analysis, right? Your
Mm-hmm.
strengths, your weaknesses, and your threats and
Opportunities
opportunities.
and threats,
So
right?
where you're weak and you don't like, then farm that out. But you
Yeah.
do have to understand you have to have customers to make money.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
No, you increase your price if you had to.
Yeah.
And if you increase the quality of how you do things, they'll
Yeah.
justify,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? You don't
Definitely.
have to be the
Right.
lowest price player. That's a lot of misunderstanding that you have to be the cheapest one. You know what you do need to be? The first one they find. You want to be so
Mm.
Nah.
good, they didn't even have time to ask for price for someone else.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right, Crystal?
I like
Yeah.
that.
I'm looking for a
I
business
like
she
that.
came up. I'm in a problem. She said it's 20 grand.
Yeah.
How do I
Right.
pay you, Crystal? Can you fix this? Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Here you go. She says,
Exactly.
here's the
Solving the pain
information.
point, right?
Right. But if she was 27th page and she was only 2 grand, who cares? The guy already got money. Gilbert's already he got the money.
Yeah.
He already put a down payment for a boat. He's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Right? We're over here trying to get that thing. No, you gotta be the first ones that they can find. And look, that is not easy. We get that. But
Yeah.
you have to really work hard on being that.
Mm-hmm.
And that might mean serving a whole different kind of customers that makes you more money to then
Yeah.
be able to afford the kind of systems and services providers and whatnot.
Right.
Why not? Right?
That's right. That's right.
Mm. So Click is a dashboard?
Yeah,
Is that
we
what
actually
you are, or
absolutely took the knowledge from running that agency. We still have that agency to then transferring that knowledge and the systems for other agencies that are looking to start and scale. Crystal, this is one of those opportunities that I just got hit with during the pandemic, like you said.
Yeah.
Lots of people want to start their own agency because you can live anywhere and run a $50,000 a month agency. You could
right?
anywhere. This is one of those businesses. I don't have to show up to work. I have an office space, right? I have all of this. You don't need it because you could work from your laptop. So a lot of folks reached out and we just took all of that, resources, coaching, content, everything we created for our own team to grow and scale. I give it to other agency owners. I have 2 programs, one to start, one to scale what they already have. And you have no idea the stories that I'm getting from folks that are nurses, want to start a business on the side, other folks that may not like their job, they want to quit, they're not feeling fulfilled, they want to do something else, they feel like there's more out there for them. We're out here trying to help those people out, Crystal and Gilbert. So you know.
You know.
They
So
want
on
a
the start,
second source of income. Lots of people want
Yeah.
a second source of income.
yeah,
Yeah.
multiple revenue
Multiple sources of
streams.
income.
You
And,
know,
and
they
we
talk
give them,
about the Industrial Revolution, right? Back in, just in the early 60s, right? 50s, 60s over there. And then they talk about the technology revolution, which was in
Right.
the 80s, right? The early 80s, right there. And when the pandemic hit in 2020, that was the economic development revolution, because that's when many businesses, not just small business, small, medium, and large, they recognized that they needed to pivot. They needed to do business a different kind of way. They needed to understand that they need to start managing their back office, managing their paperwork, looking at their marketing differently, because everything else is different. The marketplace is different.
Yeah.
So
Sorry.
I like this new economic development revolution, man, the way it's going, because the things you're saying is really perfect. It's resonating with me well. I love it.
100%.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like I said, we're seeing it every day
Yeah.
in our office. Then, not only are we serving those small businesses, but we're also serving those folks, entrepreneurs that are trying to start a second business, or they want stuff for their kids to take over. Kids are living in the TikTok whatever world. Like,
Oh yeah.
they want to be marketers going
Yeah.
forward, right?
Yeah.
So we're fired up about it, and we're doing a fantastic job.
Right.
Awesome. Gilbert, I think this might be answer to your prayers for small business.
That's what I was thinking. That's what I'm saying. I'm listening to him and I'm going, got to set up a meeting with this man. Solomon, the wisest man. I got to meet with him.
Stream that too. Let's get everybody here.
So Gilbert has a software product that he created a number of years ago to help businesses that are doing procurement opportunities. It kind of stores all is a document organization type of tool with some other
management system that it stores your documents so you can access it in seconds. It also prepares you to go after contracts. It prepares you to become government certified as a minority, a small business, a woman-owned business, all of that. It has all your paperwork ready. And there's a checklist in there that says, hey, these are the things you need to become certified. These are the things you need to get a contract. These are things you need to be business ready. These are the things you need to be loan ready if you're trying to get a loan or a line of credit. So it's just an amazing tool. But many small businesses, they don't recognize the value of it. So they're going, I don't need it. I can use Google Drive or I can use this, but it's not the same. It's not the same. There's no platform out there that's preparing you for government contracts. There's no platform out there that's preparing you for certification, government certification. So, and the thing that Crystal and I talk about a lot on this podcast is you might be doing business to consumer, which is transactional. But we want to move them away from doing transactional business to contractual business. That means we get them doing business with the government. So instead of B to C, which is business to consumer, we're going B to G, business to government. 100%. And that's how we're trying to do this thing right here. And it's taking us.
So he needs more eyeballs. He needs leads.
I need leads from the right type of clients. So that's where we're thinking that you could come in and bring some value. Yeah. So because
Gilbert's he's been working with organizations with numerous he's been working with organizations whose target audience is the same as ours, right? But I don't think they quite get it, the value of it, because it's all about the value, right? There has to be a value proposition for a person to see whether or not they want to invest in it or not. So that's the customer you need to be in front of, the one that can see the long-term, bigger picture value than the short-term, bigger picture. And I imagine your programs are like that, Solomon. You're not going after. You want all the low-hanging, high-hanging off fruits, but you want the client or the customer that's going to be there for the long run, right?
100%. If the business is not growing, we didn't do our job right. Let's put it that way.
Right.
Do you agree?
Yeah.
That's the real measurement.
No.
I agree. And that includes, if they're not listening, you kick them in the butt and get them motivated, because we got to grow this business.
Right.
100%.
Sometimes when I do a financial assessment. That's my core competency is accounting, bookkeeping, forecasting, budgeting, reading your financial reports. So it's always a big surprise for my clients. We get through the whole process before it's time to file they've done all the bookkeeping, run a financial report before we send it to the tax person or CPA. I say, now let's look at your numbers last year and let's look at your numbers this year.
Right.
And they're going, it didn't change. Right. So do we have a problem?
Right.
Yeah, we got a problem. And in fact, let's go look back 2-3 years and has it changed? And then I always come back with, let me tell you something. If you're making under 85,000 in your own business, at the end of the day, you can go work for somebody and make 85 grand. if you putting up with the headaches of running a business for $85,000, nah, man, you just go get you a job.
Seriously.
Right.
But again, it's just a lack of knowing how to do the things that we were just talking about.
Yeah.
It's not that they're not capable of doing $850,000.
Yeah.
I don't believe that for a minute. In fact, it's easier to run a bigger business than it is to run a smaller business.
Yeah.
Because things just work.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's easier. There's people, support.
Yeah.
Stuff works. Stuff can be automated. But you don't have that, it's harder.
Yeah.
It is harder.
Right.
You get frustrated.
Yeah, because every penny counts, every client counts. You lose a client, you're like, oh my God, that's $1,500 out the monthly budget. Oh my God, what does that look like? Especially if you don't have a replacement.
Yeah. And how do I replenish this $1,500 that just went out? Yeah.
I think it needs to go back to the system, is what I'm saying. What is working and what isn't? Can we shut down the things that aren't working, double down on what is, and how do we make it into a system? I think if they just summarize that, you'll be all right.
Now, where are you located, Solomon?
So I go between Chicago and Florida.
Oh, okay.
Cold and warm. Let's put it that way. Right?
So you range.
Either I'm cold or I'm warm. It's one or the other.
Chicago and Florida.
So let me ask this question. Now that you've been in, how long you been in business?
17
since
years.
graduation?
17 years.
17 years.
Yes.
So what do our parents think now?
They're very proud of
your parents.
They're very, very
They're proud of you now, right?
Because
you're generating revenues.
Oh my gosh. And again, it's for the right reasons. You know, I do want to say thanks to those parents that don't force their kids into something because they want them to do that.
Right.
My parents never did that.
Right.
They gave me full permission to do whatever I wanted as long as I graduated college. That was
as long as there's results.
As long as you got that certificate. They were thinking about marriage and, you know, what am I going to say? My kid didn't even graduate college. Nobody's going to want to marry him. Or, I don't know what parents think. Crystal's laughing because she's like, yeah, you're probably right. I don't think they were worried about my certificate. I think they were worried about, is this guy even going to make it? Is he even going to get a $40,000 job? Because if he didn't, there goes that job. Right? Like literally.
And he's going to be at home with us forever.
Yeah, we need to get him out of the house. He needs the job. And so I did that. I gave them what they wanted, and they said whatever.
Okay.
Do whatever you need to do. You'll know what to do, because like I said, if you give your kids some challenge, they'll figure out how to get over it. If you fix everything for them, they won't do anything.
That's true.
They'll just be like, I got mommy's credit card. What do I need to know how to work? Right?
Yeah. As Greg says, JOB, just over broke, which is what jobs are, just over broke. Well, you have an amazing program, and I like it. You know, when I talk to my students, I do a startup kind of program, and that's what I'm talking to them about, is establishing that value, your value proposition. But you got to be able to bring them through that funnel, and in some cases, you got to be creative. I use more of a you know, the target audience, the mind share, and the in order to tap into what people are interested in, and making sure that you're giving them a product or a service that's going to service their problem. They could care less about you. They just want their problem solved. 100%. That's all they care about.
They're not married to our business. We are. They're married to their problems. They want to get it fixed,
Right.
and they'll pay them a premium if they had to, as long as you're going to fix it for them.
Right. And once you fix that problem, you got to keep adding on the value proposition. I have a nail salon, my nail guy. We've been, we told somebody the other day, we've been in a relationship for close to 25 years.
There you go.
And so this other lady was going, how is that possible? I said, because every time I come here, the value is premium. And even when I felt that I've left, and I thought I was going to leave, then I felt like I was cheating. I had to come back.
Awesome. Fantastic. Yeah.
And he reaches out to me. He wishes me happy birthday. He remembers the date my mom died. He has that value prop that making you feel like you're his only client.
Right.
He is good at that. And so we've had a 25-year relationship, and that says a lot to be with one nail salon or hair, right, for one person, because you have value and you feel a reason to stay with that particular service provider. So
he's capturing
capturing
the demand and also making you fall in love with him. See, that's a thing, man, that we tell our clients all the time. Always make your clients or customers fall in love with you. They're falling in love with you. They're not going anywhere else. They're not going to the competition. They're going, hey, I'm loving the services I'm getting here, the value, all of that.
Right, exactly. And so now let me ask, so with your program, I know it's about because for me, it's about, one of the reasons I'm still with him is because of customer service. It's just, for me, that is my sweet spot. If you're providing me a service, a good service, but the customer service is like primo, then you don't have a problem with me coming back. So how do you do that within the click system? I know you're measuring and so forth.
Absolutely. And I think this is where some of those things, maybe the business owner are going to be coming up with ideas on how do we over deliver. Like an example is, after you're done with the service, sending them an evaluation. How did my guy do? How do you feel? Would you recommend us to a customer? Having system, that can also be automated, right? A lot of this can be systematized.
Yeah.
If you really put in, hey, I want this, and I want this. And the benefit of that is every day your business is getting better, not worse, because you're adding more things, which is why I built software, because, Gilbert's got a software too. Whatever code you wrote, it's never wasted.
Right.
It's there, right? QuickBooks is just building onto the things. So you got tons of value you created, and every day you're adding more value. So the next customer comes in, they get more service. Would you agree, Crystal? And then the customer after that, they get even better. So if you want to grow and compete, you can't reinvent the wheel. You can't do personal phone calls. You can't do personal text messages. None of that is going to scale.
Yeah.
That's the magic word.
The scale. Okay, so it has to be recorded in a system that can actually track that for you, so you can go back and review it.
And if possible, automate as much as possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. Now, do you have a checklist of items that you use when you're working with your clients? Say, hey, do you have this in place? Because you talked earlier about the SOP, the standard operating procedure. You talk about some other things. So do you have a checklist? Do you have your SOP? Do you have your statement of qualifications? Do you have your capability statement? Do you have any of these? Do you have something like that you use?
So for us, it really depends on the goal of the client. So depending on what they come into us with, because not everybody's got the same problem. You could be in the same industry, have different problems.
Yeah.
And our account management team is the ones that are really digging deep to find what they don't have. But we will implement a system, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Right. And that there's millions of checklists that we have to go through, all fail proof, because we're not going to mess around. Yeah. We're talking about, let's go.
I hear that.
Like flying a plane. No one's going to just guess what to do to fly a plane. It's a pretty rock solid system, right? So the same exact thing should be in your business. And so many of us just take the website and the SEO and the Google as if it's just going to magically show up. And it doesn't. I'll be honest with you. There's plenty of people out there trying to outrank you right now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Yeah, no, that's very
how
true.
does a client
Thank you,
become in?
Crystal. Right. That's
Very true.
they're out there
Waiting.
waiting to take your
Right.
customers.
Waiting to
And
take your
so,
lunch.
yeah, if you don't think that is true, they're not just taking your customers, they're taking everybody else's. So that's
Oh
why
yeah,
you have to be vigilant at and say, look, this is a war. We gotta fight this. We
retaining
gotta
them.
work on our growth.
Yeah.
It's a serious thing. So and I
How-
enjoy every bit of it.
One of
Fun.
the things I tell my client when I'm students, there's when I do you got to make sales is a presentation I do. In there, I identify the four types of customers that you should be on the lookout for or are looking to acquire, right, or acquisition. So your best customer, which is obviously that one is spending big money, but they don't come all the time. Your sustainable customer, that's the one keeping your doors open for you. Always got to have that in the queue. And then that lookalike customer, that one you're looking to steal from somebody else because they didn't fail that person, and that person will let you know that they're unhappy because we're in the world of digital, of the internet, and they're gonna put it on Yelp, they're gonna put it on Amazon, they're gonna put it somewhere on Google, somewhere there's a review that says I can't stand this person right here. And then that's your opening to go in there and pull them from somewhere else. So somebody is always waiting for your customer. So if you don't take care of them, somebody's waiting to take them on.
That's right. It's true. Right.
Right.
It's just it's somebody else's growth plan that they made is to acquire more customers. But
Mm-hmm.
it's not to worry the business owner that's watching or listening to this. It's more of bringing to awareness that this needs to be top priority and not
Mm-hmm.
bottom of priority because you're firefighting 24/7 and you don't have time. Well, figure it out. You got to hire somebody. Somebody needs to be looking after it if you can't.
Now, how
Exactly.
do you go about when you identify your customer? How do they become engaged in your services? What do they do? Do they go to your website? Do they fill out an assessment form? How do they do this?
Absolutely. So on the agency side, in my name it says OneIMS. We have a whole form that they can fill out, and one of the consultants would reach out to them and find out, if they're the right fit. But basically, it's a discovery call.
Hmm.
What is Gilbert trying to accomplish, and can we even help you? Right? We're
Yeah,
not, like I said, it's all about fit. If it's not a fit, we'll find somebody else that could assist them. But I'm in
that-
the business of putting out as much of this information as I possibly can,
yeah.
so they know what to do. I mean, I just good timing for folks that are watching. If you're watching this before next week, I'm putting together a training. It's called Dry Pipeline. Literally, the website's called drypipeline.com.
Hmm.
What it
Mm.
is, people's pipelines are dry, and that is one of the biggest challenge. And I'll be doing a masterclass next Wednesday or Tuesday or whatever day it is. It's on that website. I would love every single person to join that. It's free.
Is
Just hear
that
me
so?
out.
That's a free class, right?
Absolutely.
What time of the day?
I think it's too early for my Pacific people. It's going to be like your 9 o'clock in the morning,
Yeah,
but it's
I
my
don't.
lunchtime.
I don't
Yeah.
do that early time, man.
Yes.
Solomon, if
Gilbert.
you're not hitting me up at 11 o'clock, man, it's like
Yes.
But if it's worthwhile, I mean, if you got a dry pipeline, he gonna show you how to put some fluid to it. I don't know. Yeah, I would wake up.
Yeah, and I always think about this because I do fly West Coast and I feel like I'm in another world because my kids are sleeping, and I just got out of whatever meeting and I'm like, this is insanity. And then I fly back to East Coast and I'm just like, I lost a day just getting
yeah,
here.
yes,
Yeah.
yes,
It's
that's
so
true.
crazy, right?
That
So
is
so
true.
it is, and I'm always mindful of that. And our coaching calls are 3 o'clock, so it's like your lunchtime, and
Yeah.
we have folks, so many people from the West Coast. So it's at 12:30, I believe, and it's about 9:30
Well,
your time. So
Okay. Well, I
okay, that's
think I'll
not
make the
bad.
sacrifice for that, Solomon.
yeah, and
I'll
I
make
would
So
love
this is
everyone, and I really mean it. It's like it's a masterclass on the stuff that I just went over, but in
yeah,
depth,
yeah,
step by step, what we do and how they can do it themselves. I'm
yeah.
telling you right now, I'm all about teaching and training and giving the keys to the castle. And
Yeah.
if they need help, of course, we're always here for them. But at the end of the day, if you don't have cash flow to fund a marketing company, don't go spend money on what you don't have. Learn from these folks like me on how to make the money to then spend it. Do you agree, Crystal? We're not asking for someone to spend the money they don't have, but they should be listening to every free masterclass that's out there and executing like crazy. Like my t-shirt says, hustle harder.
Yeah, I noticed. I was looking at it. It says hustle harder, man. Look at that.
It's hashtag hustle harder. But
what day next week is this class?
I do so many of these, so I apologize. I believe it's on Tuesday or 20.
It's on your website? Is it on your website?
Yeah, drypipeline.com. Just go to drypipeline.com. It's all there. Register. It's free.
Yeah,
we'll be there.
I'm gonna check it out, man. I'm gonna check. Is there anything you want to share with the audience before you go?
No, really. This webinar should be recorded after, so whoever comes to the Dry Pipeline after that, they could see it. And the reason I say that is this is probably a good piece for them to start, because a lot of people in our world aren't even ready, right, for more aggressive marketing, sales, whatever. But we're going to teach them exactly what to do and give them the tools so they can do it themselves. I mean, at the end of the day, what we care about is other people growing, and those right fit will come to us if it's the right fit, right? So we're not worried. I'm not here for anything more than adding more value to our audience that are here checking out the business zone.
That's right.
Well, that's right. You have been awesome, and we have enjoyed you. I put it drypipeline.com. You guys want to check it out, especially masterclass. Yeah. It's a masterclass. Right.
And folks,
so check out the web.
Folks, if you want to learn how to hustle harder, you got to check out that drypipeline.com masterclass. I'm going to check it out too. I'm going to make that sacrifice because I need to see what's going in there. Because while you're speaking, in my mind, I'm trying to see how we can have a synergy. You know, your organization with mine come together and help small business on a larger level. Yeah. So that's what I'm thinking. But we want to thank you so much. We really enjoy. And I'm speaking on behalf of my co-host now. We really enjoy
you helping you look at business in a different light, and thinking outside of that box, right? Thinking not just so linear, and that's what we have found with most of our business owners, that they just think linear. I got a product, I got a service. Yep. I just put up a website, and bam, the people are gonna come. No, they're not gonna come.
Yeah.
No.
you built it, but they're not coming. So
no.
Well, we really appreciate you, man. Folks, this is Mr. Solomon Thimothy. And if you really want to check him out, see him in action, see what he's doing, you want to go to his website at it's oneims.com. That's his website, and you can find out a lot about his program and how they help small businesses. And you also need to check out this class at drypipeline.com. It's a master class. It's going to be held next week. And sign up, guys. Sign up. Don't just go there and look at it and go away. You need to sign up, check it out. See if you're smart, you're brilliant, and you know everything about marketing, you still should check it out just to compare 100%. It with what you have. You see what I mean? Because I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to check it out, folks, because I'm listening to you, and you sound like a potential spoke in my wheel, or my business wheel, that you can help me. So, yeah, definitely.
It's all connections at the end of the day. It's all about
for sure.
Me knowing Crystal, and then Crystal knows Gilbert, and then Gilbert knows the next person, and that might be my next $1 million contact right there. Right, Crystal?
Yes.
Literally.
Right there. That's the way it happens. All about connecting. Yeah, building that network. Solomon, thank you so much. We know it's late on the East Coast, so we're going to let you go spend time with your family.
Things are shutting off behind me because it's all programmed. It's all automated.
Right.
Nobody's here this late. So before they
go home, dude.
I like that.
I'll still be here, but you might not be able to see me.
Okay. We're going to let you go before all the lights shut down. Thank you, Solomon. We so appreciated your being here. I'm going to check out the website and sign up as well. Because always need marketing tools. But so much.
Happy to
Yeah,
serve you all.
Much
yeah,
respect, my
Crystal is
brother. Much respect.
Crystal is our marketing and digital guru over here, man. So she
I love
definitely
it.
Yeah, I'm trying to grow our channel. I'm going to come find out how you grow your subscribers.
100%. Absolutely. Thank you. Thank
Thank you
you
so
both.
much.
Thank you very much. You have a great weekend, and I'm sure we'll see each other soon.
That's right.
Have a good
All
one.
righty. Thank you,
My brother.
Solomon, for
Take care.
joining us today.
Yep. Yeah.
All right. Bye-bye. All right, Gilbert. Great
This was a
show.
great show, man.
So-
I see Greg is leaving us. He's saying happy Friday. He's gone. Greg.
Happy Friday, Greg. Greg was there this morning when we did the event. So tomorrow I'm going to a voting party, which we're going to go over the
It's
ballot
like an
so that we
awareness,
can
have session, right?
awareness. We're going to talk about Emma Maxey is actually hosting it. We're going to find out who we should be voting for, what we should be voting for, why we should, well, we know why we should be voting. And then we're going to come back on the community briefing and share all that wonderful knowledge.
Yeah.
And so, Greg, are you going to be there tomorrow? Or are we going to catch you on next Thursday when we go over the reviews? And if not, we'll check out. We're gonna have to do our Greg and I every year we sit and we compare our notes on
that's
what
cool. On the
how we
voting,
fill out our
the
ballot.
voting items. That's cool. I
Yeah,
like that.
so if he's not there on Saturday, then before I send, I'm gonna reach out to
He
him.
said, no, I
But
have an
he has an
Santa
event in
Monica.
Santa Monica.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay, well, we'll compare notes before everything all go out. So, Gilbert, it's been great.
Yes.
So I'm hungry. I haven't had
Me
I had
too.
breakfast this morning.
You had a long
So
day,
let's
man.
go eat.
You've had a long day.
I did.
So go.
I had to get up.
Oh,
He said, it starts at 3. had to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning. So that, woo, that is just like.
so you're getting ready to go into day 2 now, right? Day 1 has already ended.
It's about day 2.
Okay, co-host, I'm going to let you go do your thing. This has been great. This is a Business Zone. For those of you who are just tuning in, this is a Business Zone with Crystal and Gilbert. We're on every Friday from 3 to 4:30, bringing on amazing guests to help you and your small business. And you too can become a guest on the Business Zone. Just make sure you reach out to us and we'll send you a link so you can register to be on our list. This is the last 7 days of Black History Month, folks. And next month, it's called Women's History Month. So we're going to have all female guests in March. So if you're a female entrepreneur and you want to come on here and you want to share your information, your product, your services, or if you got any techniques to solve a pain in the marketplace that you want to talk about, please come on this Business Zone. I'll put my email in the chat. It's Gilbert@thebuchanangroup.net. And my co-host will put hers too. So you guys can reach out to us directly. And we'll definitely get you guys on the show so you can do just like Mr. Solomon did earlier.
Awesome. All righty. April is Financial Literacy Month. Okay, so March is for women, and then we're going to be focused. And isn't it apropos that it's Financial Literacy Month when it's tax month?
That is so true. Greg said he wants some roti.
How appropriate.
He wants some roti. Hey, Greg, where are you gonna find roti, man? I want some of that too. Where do you find that right now? Is there a special little place that you know about that we don't know that has the roti?
The roti place? Trinidad.
Okay. I don't think I want to leave the country anytime soon. So.
All righty, guys.
Yes.
I'm out. Greg, talk to you next week. Gilbert, Talk to you next week.
Def-
Have a fantastic weekend.
Definitely. And we're going to play our outro right now, folks. We're out. See you next week.
As a small biz pro, I saw we roll, using procurement, program and control. As a small biz pro, I saw we grow, using procurement, program and control. I'm a businessman, yes, I'm an entrepreneur.